Hey Scrapper Names fans, and welcome back to a very, very long overdue video. I have this very gorgeous bright 12 by 12 layout for you today, documenting my gorgeous little niece. I am working, or one of my gorgeous little nieces. I am currently working on her album, which is very much well overdue being done. She turned one at the end of September, and I am still only at the end of last year for her. So I'm kind of thinking it's just a scrapbooker thing that we just constantly are behind. But hopefully I am powering through and we'll get it done between some couch scrapping and some time in my craft room. So as I said, a long overdue video. It has been a bit of a roller coaster, and I think it's been a good fair chunk of time. We've moved house, we've got married, we've had lots going on. So doing videos just hasn't been on my radar, and I haven't had a lot of time scrapbooking. But here I am, and I have to shout out to my oldest niece, Miss Holly, who has been actually asking where my videos are, and that it has been such a long time between videos. So here I am. Anyway, the layout. So what I've done here is I have gotten, I think that's a Paige Evans background paper from one of her newer collections. I think, is it called Splendid? I can't remember. Anyway, came in a Kitaholic kit. The other paper that has that water sort of colour paint bit happening is actually part of this month's Inky Quill printables. I am on her Patreon, or subscribe to her Patreon, and so that's that. The papers that I'm actually using to back onto my photo are also just scrap pieces of some previous Inky Quill Patreon printables. Oh, that was a bit of a tongue twister. As well, and they were just sitting on my desk, and I thought, well, why not use them? This layout just screams bright, colourful craziness, and that is pretty much what this ends up becoming. Lots of sticking and plonking. So the layout itself actually does not take too long to get together. I don't know if it was the colours, the theme, but it just all came together really, really fast. So as you can see, just matting this photo. Now this was from, I feel it was like November, December last year, and I think the beginning of December from memory, and just down out enjoying the yummy sunshine that was summer last year, and she's just enjoying some time out with her mummy, I'd say. I can't remember if this was days that we went down to the lake with them as well, but anyway. As you can see, all those bits and pieces have been put together. I did have a bit of a method to my madness with that, and that was, as I said, making those layers, having them poke out a little bit. Some bits were a bit shorter on some ends, so I just stuck other bits or cut it in half and did a bit of a, patchwork. And then I decided to stick them down. One rule I had with making this little niece and my other niece's album was that I was going to try to make sure that they weren't too chunky, because the first two albums I made for my eldest nieces and nephews were very chunky, and I think it ended up being 2 or 3 albums worth, and it was only their first year, so I kind of had to make sure that this time around not so much. And I think my other niece, Piper, that was born early last year, ended up doing 2 albums for her. Probably nearly could have stretched it into a third had I gone any further, but I cut back towards the end. All right, so as I said, lots of sticking and plonking, and lots of just random bits. So I'm trying to use up, and mission accomplished. I can't even remember when or if ever I have used an entire pack of ephemera, but these big flowers you can see here, which are also the new Paige Evans collection. Sorry. Oh, my God, mind blank. I have finally used them all up. Now, again, I got them in one of my Kitaholic kits a couple of months ago, and as I've said, I wasn't scrapbooking. I haven't been scrapbooking very much and had a lot of time for scrapbooking, so I haven't used much at all. But yeah, so I have actually finished, I think, bar like maybe, oh no, I think I used the blue flower too. Yeah, so I was very excited about that. That was just a bit of a scrappy win. I have all these bits and pieces of ephemera lying around for ones that haven't been finished, and yeah, this is the first pack that's actually been finished, so c'est la vie. I did get a little bit sick of them. I did think that they were a little bit bright for some things, but this layout, it worked in perfectly. Obviously, with the background being obviously part of this collection, it's going to match really well. So, yeah. Didn't really go with colours too much in regards to the photo, which is usually my MO for scrapbooking, is I try and you pull the colours from the layout, from the photo to kind of guide my design on my colour theme for the layout. But this time I kind of started with the base, which was pink to match her hat. And then I kind of just went from there, and also went with the sort of theme of the layout, which was all outdoors. So yeah, and as you can see, pulling in bits and pieces. I've taken some of the little drawers, the ephemera drawers I've got sitting in behind my desk here, and just pulling out some leaves and bits and pieces. I think I end up pulling out the animals, I think it's aptly labelled, drawer as well, and you'll see me pop on some butterflies and birds and all the things. As I said, very, very crazy layout, I thought. But I like to try and mix it up in the albums. I try not to have the pages look too similar. So, for example, this page is all very flowery, but the pages, I think the page before this and then the one following it, which I think is Project Life Spread, I've pulled back on having lots of flowers and have gone more with like shapes and things like that, I think, for it. Just because, in particular, for this little niece, whose name is Iris, by the way, her album is very flowery, I think mainly because of her name. The names she has, their meanings are to do with things like spring and flowery and things like that, and the goddess of those things. But she was born in spring, so it kind of just all fits. So trying to make sure that we don't have lots and lots and lots and lots of florals. So mind you, she's a bit crazy, so she's not going to be probably too much of a petite little flower at all. I just had her here for the weekend, or for the night babysitting. It's Sunday afternoon here in Oz, or evening, night even. And she is dead set crazy, but she makes me absolutely crack up laughing. She's a character at a 1-year-old already, so God only knows what the rest of her life will be like. She is gonna be an absolute cracker. But yeah, so yeah, as you can see, now adding some last little finishing touches here. I've literally just grabbed some little enamel dots. God, I can't even remember the names of some of these things. Just add some little sprinkly detail to. I've got all these really big chunky ephemera pieces, I felt, so I just wanted some little hidden details as well. These ones are puffy stickers. I apologise if you can hear my cat, or one of my cats, in the background. She's been locked in the bedroom with me, and she doesn't like being shut behind doors. Yeah, she's right now. She's figured out how to open the door. It wasn't shut properly. So yeah, so just adding in some last little sprinkly bits. These are some puffy stickers as well that I'm not sure where they're from. But yeah, this is the finished layout. Here are some close-ups of those. I hope you've enjoyed this first video back. I am going to try to do some videos. I'm not going to say schedule, but yeah, keep posted. I've got a couple to come. All right, have fun scrapping. Bye now.